before this game, like a couple days before, I was on like a 5-game winning streak, and this game started off like a 6-game winning streak.
All right.
Or I'm sorry, 5-game losing streak. This one
Oh.
started a 6-game winning streak that got me into silver. It's kind of the only game that I had recorded, so I threw it in there. It's really long, so I was probably more asking for help around maybe the like we can like probably speed through early game, but the mid game and stuff like that, like trying to prevent like games where we're winning from lasting 43 minutes because I know that like accelerating games is something that can like be really helpful.
Mm-hmm. All right, sounds good. I really like your decision to base and get pickaxe instead of running to top crab because you're still gonna get here around the same time, but now you have item. And even if he, so I like just gonna praise this because a lot of times the junglers will just be like, oh shit, he's on bot crab, I'm gonna run to top crab. But I think basing for tempo and playing to top crab is very correct here. So this is good, good habit. Um, but yeah, okay, we'll speed through like you said. Even if he gets the crab, it doesn't. Even you ended up getting, but even if he got it, this is still good because he has to base now with low HP, and now you're on the map and you could gank or invade them or do whatever you want. Um,
Yeah.
so we do back to our camps, as you said. So as you said, you just want to speed through the mid game, right? Looks pretty boring. Like, yeah, no kills. Or just farm.
Yeah,
Looks like we're just
it's pretty
yeah. Looks
boring.
like we're just power farming, and because we don't really, it's fine. I'd rather power farm, um, than force bad ganks. So fine with that. Even though our mid laner dies, we're strong enough. We're up 2 levels because of our power farming. Where even though they're mids first, we're just strong enough to push them out and get at least 1 or 2 grubs before Syndra shows up, right? I think. Okay, so
Hmm.
off rip. So I think. Yeah, so I think you have to understand here. I like the idea, but you just have to understand. You have to understand what the play is. Once you see mid die, you're on a timer. You got like 6 to like 9 seconds where you could do whatever the fuck you want, and then after like once you're like 7 seconds in, that's when we're like instead of that's when we start gonna dip because their mid's gonna come, right? I think if you think
Gotcha.
you could play 2v1, if you think that if you get the Sejuani chunked enough, then you could play 2v1 because it's kind of fake. It's basically more of like a 1v1 versus Syndra because if Sejuani gets too close and he's quarter HP, you'll just kill a Sedge, right? So you're kind of 6 to 9 seconds. You're trying to play it as 8 shit as possible, to get the Sedge as low as possible or to kill the grubs as fast as possible. And then by the time Syndra comes, then you adjust. If Sedge you got Sedge low enough, then you can play the 2v1 and try to outplay. Because the game's kind of bad, so looking for 2v1s isn't that bad. Or we just try to get 1 or 2 grubs and dip. I think I think the way you started this play was really good. But I think the fact that you used your I think it was the E ability is really bad.
Yep.
Because I think using QW is
Gotcha.
awesome. But here I think you do the 1 grub and then you just click here and then you just you kind of just sit here and you kind of just wait to see what happens. Is Cincher coming? Is she actually not coming? Um, Sejuani is back in the pit now with no Q. So now we could technically play to like even if it's just here. Now that he's no Q, and now we could play technically to kill him. And now we have our E damage reduction for Cincher combo. But I think the only way to like really outplay this or live this or win this is if we hold our E for their burst, right? Because now you end up just getting bursted. Uh,
Yep.
but oh, and you're actually it's also unfortunate. You look like you're lagging. Oh yeah, you got a lag spike here too.
Yeah, this game, dude. This game, I normally don't have problems with like hella lag.
Hmm.
This game was weird.
Yeah.
Like I've never had this
Because
problem
I
before.
don't know, honestly, I was talking about how you can maybe win this 2v1, but you wasted E, and you're still almost winning 2v1. Imagine if you had E this entire time. Imagine if you had E right now,
Yeah.
and you're like you full charge this guy into the wall or this guy or like into this wall. I think you'd kill the Sejuani, you'd get Triumph, and then with Triumph you'd actually be able to run down the Syndra. So this 2v1 is actually just as simple as you just wasted your E, right? Because I'm pretty sure if you held it,
Gotcha.
you get the Sedge kill for sure, right? Um, so I,
If I would have had my A, yeah, I probably would have won this fight.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's not so not like it's so the feedback isn't oh just hold your E haha like
No, I know.
the feedback is before you go into plays think about what the play is gonna be. Is this a what I mean by that is like before you play there's like different plays fast play and like normal play slow you play slow and you have like teammates coming and right now it's 2v1 but if you like you just jiggle here and play it slow then you're gonna instead of being a 2v1, it's gonna be a 2v2 eventually, or a 2v3 eventually, right? You play fast when you know you're gonna be number disadvantaged this entire fight. Um, so you have to like play fast before he gets his number advantage. Right now it's 1v1. In 7 seconds it's gonna be 2v1. So you play fast when you're going to have a number disadvantage. You play slow when you're going to have a number advantage, right? And before you go into fights, you should be thinking about which fight it's going to be, because then you'll play the fight more accordingly. If you go into this fight thinking, okay, I only have 7 seconds, I'm gonna make sure not to burn any like massive abilities before Syndra comes, and I'm gonna make sure to like try to abuse my 1v1 as fast as possible. Then I think if you're like thinking about that before the fight, then I don't think you'd ever use your E. And then right, so it's always basically think about how the fight's gonna turn out before it happens, and then like think about and then base your abilities off of that, right? Does all make sense?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, all that makes a lot of sense. I've never understood what playing slow versus playing fast like conditions were, so that helps out a lot.
You did you understand it well, or do you want me to explain it a different way?
No, I understood. No, I
Okay,
understand that completely.
okay,
I understand exactly what
perfect.
you're saying.
Yeah, sounds good. Because if you saw, I don't know if you just saw the last one, Ruby, but when I was telling him to jiggle in the river, that was like play slow because
Yep.
he was currently a 2v1, and if he just jiggled for like 3 to 4 seconds, he's going to, and once his teammates walk up river, then he'll be in number advantage fight. So that's like an example of playing it slow because he's currently a number disadvantage, but if he waits a bit, he'll have number advantage. You know.
Yep.
So that's a slow example. This is a more fast example. Okay,
Understood.
let's go more to the mid game. Okay, we're doing a nice little rent fight mid. Oh shit,
Yep.
you got one tap.
Perfect.
It's kind of
Yeah, I don't.
So I think this game I can't press tab, but I'm going to just assume that Sinja's pretty fed. I think anytime someone's fed, with any champion you're playing, usually you want to think about what ability do I need to avoid that champ that's fed, right? Like I don't know, a random example is like if you're playing a champ with a dash, like Lucian, and the enemy team has a really fed Malphite, usually you're basically always you're never using E unless you know Malphite ult is down. Because if his ult's up and you use Z, then you have no and Lucian uses Z, then he has no way to dodge Malphite ult. So a lot of times you kind of on a game by game basis, you think who's the most fed member on the enemy team? Okay, it's Syndra. What's my only like ability that can help me like dodge or avoid Syndra damage? In this case, I would say as Briar, it's probably just your E as damage reduction. Like if you see her throwing an ability and you can't dodge it, you just pop out your E and you'll just take a lot less damage because of it, right?
Yep.
So I think anytime you're fighting around the Syndra at this point, like unfortunately she's fat. I think she's 4 or something. Like obviously we wish that wasn't the case, but it is the case. So anytime you're fighting around mid, which is like anywhere near the zone, we have to be really like um, conservative with our E. Because if your E's
Okay.
down and you don't have merch treads, you're basically saying, okay, if I get hit by a single Sedgel or single like Syndra stun, I'm gonna get one shot. But if I could use my Q and W on this guy, use all my abilities on him, I could even ult him. And obviously you never ult from this range, but it's, just for the argument. But as long as we have our E, once Ninja shows up, we're not we're gonna be fine. But if we start a fight with our E, I know normally Briar wants to start fights like this, but we have to like adjust our normal like trade patterns just according to like where we're playing and who we're playing around. And in this case, if she was Fog of War and she just shows up as UE, I was like, oh, it's unlucky. I'm not gonna blame you. But in this case, when we see like we're the ones forcing the fight, seeing
Yep.
Sinja nearby and we know she's fed, and we know this is our only ability that could really like not counter her but play around her, then it's like same thing here. Same thing. If you just QW this guy and then you have E for this guy's combo, like this ult, you would never die here, right? And then maybe you and
Yep.
Akshan can 2v2, and after the E expires and her ult's out, and who knows what happens. So does that make sense?
Cool. Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, let me just skip to around the mid point. Unless if you have something you remember that you want to go over specifically, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just skipping forward, like you said.
No, I'd say skip through first stuff because I played this game a couple days ago
Yeah,
and I can't remember
yeah,
all the
no
specifics.
problem. Okay, let's watch some fights then. That was weird.
Yeah,
Not
I do
you.
this thing when.
I wasn't like
Sorry.
I wasn't like what you did was weird. I was the interaction because you queued as he ulted. Look, so no,
Mm.
I wasn't flaming you. It just looks like a funny interaction. No, looking at it like oh shit. Uh,
Yeah, no, I agree.
yeah.
I will say, like, I agree. Like, Set is one of the weirdest interactions with Briar because, like, randomly I'll be like, oh, this will definitely stun him or
I
do
think
something. No, never
when
mind.
you saw his animation,
Just jumps
I'm
out of it.
assuming you thought he's gonna ult you, right? Or
Yes.
yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm not gonna blame you here. This is just like I
I
could
thought he was gonna ult me, or I thought that he was gonna use his Q ability first to get his shield.
yeah.
And I was gonna try and knock him into that, which would have buffered him out of it, and then he would have had to ult, and then he'd have been cooked. But it ended up not playing that way.
Yeah, it's fine. I think with the shield thing, a lot of times, keep in mind, as you know, maybe you don't know, but I'll just say if you know that Sen never wants to W use the shield instantly. He wants to use the shield when his bar is fully charged, because the more his bar is charged, then the more damage his and more shield he gets. Because he has zero charge here, he'll almost never lead with his W, right? Because anytime he's in combat,
Yeah.
you see that bar, and then once he like uses all his abilities, you see now the bar's full, and now he Ws, and now the W does fucking 1300 damage plus it gives him full shield. But sets almost never W from full, from zero bar. So if you said you want to EM to cancel his W, he'll almost never W that early. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I did not know that about Set.
Yeah, because if you go practice right now and you just press W as set, like no bar, zero charge, it's gonna do like 200 damage. But if you get full charge,
Okay.
like he gets right now, you'll see it does, I think 1380. When he's full charge, it does. Yeah, look at this.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Boom. If he just charges zero charge, it's like 200 damage. It's peanuts. So they almost never W unless it's full charge. And they have to be in,
Yep.
they have to fight to be in full charge. And as you know, he's entering the fight, so he hasn't charged it yet. But
Gotcha.
all good. I don't mind like mistakes or that happens from like just champion knowledge, because that's something you'll learn. That's not something you're supposed to know. That's something you learn from playing, right? That's
Yeah.
all chill. Nice. Good timing. That was good. That was awesome. Okay, I think here, I don't know how you're. Sorry.
You're good.
Fucking feel like something's stuck in my throat all day. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I think because the game's kind of going poorly, like 18 to 23. I don't think it's a bad idea to ask to start Baron off the 45. Not with the idea of staying on it, but I think you just look for an excuse to fight number, because again, when you're ahead, every 5-5 is winning, every 4-4 is winning, every 3-3 is winning, right? When you're behind, you don't want to take these because you're probably gonna lose them, right? So a lot of times, when you get the random picks like this, now the game's 45. This is your opportunity. They don't want to fight you guys, because why would they want to fight at 45? They want to wait for set to spawn and then fight a 5v5, right? So a lot of times when games are
Mhm.
like this, I would recommend maybe target ping, assistant ping type, like let's do Baron, and then with the idea of playing to turn with like Briar ult or Flash Key or something, because if you do Baron, they're forced to come contest. They can't just give a free Baron, right? So by pulling Baron,
Yeah.
you're basically forcing a 45. Because that's dead with no TP. So for the next 37 seconds, if they fight you guys, you have number advantage fight. So I would say I think it's a good idea here to pull Baron. Again, we're not the idea of staying on it, because they could always turn 50-50, which we don't want to risk. But the idea of we pull it, our teammates come, they start coming in, and then we look to just force a fight, and we're gonna have another advantage no matter what for the fight, Because here
Okay.
looks like you didn't ping it and none of your teammates pinged it, but I don't think it's a bad idea to do. But here this ends up being even better. Looks like maybe. No, I guess he ran
No,
out.
I think we
Yeah,
ended up not getting anything.
but okay. Oh wait, good ult. Nice. You see. I mean, that's good. I mean, you went to die there. Big example. Sentry uses ult, you E, and now you
Yep.
took way less damage than normally you would, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. NASA's pushing top. Skip ahead. Let's watch this dragon fight, I think, or random jungle fight. Oh, I think you just got dragon. Let's see this dragon fight.
Yeah, I saw him. There we go.
Here we go. Let's watch this fight and the next fight, and then I think that'll be it.
Yep, sounds good to me.
I want to see how you fight. Nothing to really say about this fight. You actually just your teammates started a fight, they ended up not dying, and you ran in and finished them off. That was good. Good. So let's
Mm-hmm.
look at this Baron start. Here's a good example. Here, I guess it was more obvious. I mean, even now, you kill two people. Like, boom, you guys killed two. I think right now, you could unironically do Baron, the U3, you,
Yeah.
Nasus, and Akshan, right? Like, if you're pinging it, or Mal's can run too, right? Or Heimer can base TP. I think right now, it's a perfect example. It's 5v3, right? There's two people dead on their team. This guy goes here, you go here, you go here. This guy bases and TPs. Um, and it's a 5v3 if they come fight it, right? And let's say Heimerdinger doesn't have TP, it's still 5v4. Same concept as before, right? Um, and especially because the jungler's the one that's dead, they have no smite. So I think a lot of times, this goes to everyone in this call, in every elo, especially low elo, but every elo, easiest, fastest, best way to just win any game is you get Baron. You get Baron, and the game's almost like 80% win rate because you're just gonna get inhib or Nexus Tower, or the enemy team will start tilting, or something crazy will happen. You know, I think Baron is just the easiest way to like force win games, and I think just look for Baron more often. You know, because you end up starting Baron
Yeah.
now, but why start Baron now and not 30 seconds ago when now there's junglers up and their Syndra's up in 15 seconds, and who knows, Syndra could have TP. So we went from a guaranteed 3v5 to now it's a 5v5 if Syndra has TP. If she doesn't have TP, there's still a 4v5, which is still good, but we could have had a 3v5, you know? Um, so we ended up doing it anyway, so I'm glad we did it, but we definitely could have done it earlier. Maybe Nasus wouldn't have died because we'd have Baron and help him earlier or something, you know? But this is still good.
Yeah.
But I want you to see, like, if you see how easy this was, then the other one should look even easier in the past, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
so just to reinforce that. Again, once you have Baron here, games are usually pretty easy. Let's
Yep.
watch this dragon
I
fight.
don't think I used it very well.
Oh, looks like your team died. Looks like run.
Yeah, I don't remember what this fight was. I think that they shoved in a lane or something like that, and
Yeah,
then
let's see.
followed up on something.
Do you see Sedge
I don't
flanking?
remember.
Sedge flanking. Oh shit. Unstoppable. They got a good flank. I think here.
Yeah, they got a good one.
Yeah, I think here, unironically, as when you see your Heimers far and you guys aren't playing on this wave, you kind of want to go and be unironically because you can't really die to Sedge. Like if he finds you, you're fine. Like you're the tank, it's Sejuani. I think it's here. You don't really do anything in the wave. You can't. You're a melee champ. You can't hit this guy. You can't hit tower. You can't hit wave. You're just gonna take free damage for free. You're kind of useless on waves, right? So I think right now you go into the jungle and I want you to be a human ward. I want you just to sit here or here, like somewhere in the jungle, and be a human ward. And you're basically like a fucking wall, stopping Sedge and Set from going on your range champs. Mal's Akshan, eventually Heimerdinger when he pulls up, because the range champs, they're the guys who are able to kill these guys. They're the guys able to walk up hit tower safely. They're the guys able to this wave. You cannot do anything as a melee champ, you know? So your job is to
Yeah.
just stop, like be a human wall here and just stop Sedge and Set from flanking. And the reason why it's bot side is because your Nasus is bot side. So if he fights, you could actually just go be fast and help him. Because I'm pretty sure you Nasus probably went 2v2 versus anyone in the game right now because Nasus is late game, he's fed as fuck, right? And the same way, if Nasus pushing top, you'd apply here. You'd be the human wall to the side. Same concept, you know? Because you just don't do anything
Okay.
on mid waves. You're just if you're playing Kindred or I don't know, Nidalee, it's a different story. You could throw spears over the wall and help the siege and hit tower. But as Briar, I mean, have you ever been playing Briar and been able to like walk up and hit mid tower in front of like enemies? Like
No,
that's
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 actually a question I was going to ask with that because. Sorry, go ahead. My
no,
fault.
you're good. As you say, you're a Briar player. So like as a Briar player, all your games, have you ever been like able to just walk up and just hit the tower?
No.
You just champion can't siege. You just can't. So your job is just to sit in the jungle from Fog of War, look for an alt angles to engage, or you just mark their jungler or mark their like assassin or their flanker, whoever the fuck it is, and just stop them from going on your teammates. You know?
Okay.
What was your question just about that?
Yeah, it was more about that because like I know like if there's a tower about to get like blasted down and if it's a melee champ or something like that, I show up to tower, we're both melee, I dare you to jump under tower.
Oh
But
yeah,
as a ranged champ, it's kind of like I can't really do much
exactly.
against defending except hope that I show and they leave. If I'm stronger than them I go. But that's for like that's for like defending towers, but for pushing towers, I know that like obviously Baron like you said, it's really good for forcing a win, but what is the best use like no it's game by game, but what is one of the best uses for Baron, especially on a melee champ or something like that? Is it just like blindly shoving down a lane?
Yes.
Is it doing what you said, being a human ward? Like what is
Yeah,
best?
yeah, that obviously depends, but I think like a lot of times you're never gonna walk up hit the tower. You could stay on the wave to bear in the wave and let like your cannon hit the tower and let your range creeps hit the
Mhm.
tower. But a lot of times like it just like I think it basically you're playing off your range champs. Your range champs are the ones that can really hit towers and break towers and siege. So if your range champs need you to like hold their hand in lane because they're scared of getting engaged, then sure you'll be in lane holding their hand. If you're but if your range champs don't need you, then you're in the jungle, either killing camps or looking or it's obviously as you know it's way easier to hit Briar ult if they don't see it coming. So you're sitting in the jungle on like a pink or sweeping, making sure they don't see you. So if the fight looks like it could erupt, then you can ult in. Um, or again, you're a human ward. You're basically just trying to either defend your minions by defending your teammates or defend the minions by sitting on the minions. But basically, you can't hit towers. Your teammates get the towers, and you're just making sure your teammates can't get engaged on. And by doing that, that's by doing a human ward and marking the enemies. Or if you, for some reason, you're the only one with Baron and your teammates don't have Baron, then you'd be on the wave just to empower the creeps.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think you guys just end up winning like a next team fight and just winning the game, right? So,
I believe so.
all right.
It's I don't think it's anything crazy. Oh wait, hold on. This
Oh
might
shit.
happen. I don't remember. I think I
Whirlpool.
may have pushed them off of it.
Oh,
Nope, I
you
stole it.
stole it. All right, well, there you go. I think that's a perfect place to end it. Stealing the Baron.
Yeah,
Oh shit! And then we
absolutely.
press W, and then we press W on our
No,
keyboard.
I had to. I was about to say. I was gonna
Oh.
Q to him. I was gonna Q to him, but then he just kept running. So I was like, I'm gonna die in the next thing. So I just threw it. I just was like,
Nah,
I'm gonna die anyway. So
I think you
broke him.
actually Loki would have made it out here. But maybe not.
Really?
I mean, maybe who knows? I mean, you have Skull movement speed here for a little bit, right? Um,
Yeah. If it was if it was a smaller wall, I might have been able to. But either way, like pressing W. I mean, it's Briar.
yeah.
You're gonna run at something.